Right, Friday, 29th of April. Hope everyone's enjoyed the royal wedding between Prince William and Catherine Middleton. They are now Mr. and Mrs. Well, Prince and Princess. No, Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. You know what? I don't care. Ugh, my head. It's all over the place. Now, an important matter needs to be discussed. First of all, before I get on to said matter, how awesome. I've read it, and it is fantastic. It really is. 96-page spectacular of the huge milestone that is Action Comics number 900. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And especially the Reign of Doomsday storyline. I love how Lex finally finds and connects the dots that Clark and Superman are the same person. That was a huge reveal. Never saw that coming, but that was awesome. But yeah, the Reign of Doomsday looks like it's going to be something of an epic storyline, starting from next month, so I can't wait for that. Yeah, looks good. That looks good. I mean, seriously. Look at that. See that? That does look epic. Right, anyway, moving further on. There are a few other stories in here, but one stands out. And the one that stands out, well, it's called The Incident. Written by David S. Goyer. Oh dear, I don't know how I feel about him now. But put it this way, right. The story goes that Superman went to Tehran and was deemed to be interfering with the country, well, with the city's political issues. But what he says is, you know, he just stood there for 24 hours and didn't do anything, didn't say anything, didn't attack anybody, but the Iranian government are basically saying that Superman's intervention is seen as an act of war, which therefore means that, yeah, the Americans are gonna be attacked by the Iranians, and because of that, the biggest shock, and there was spoilers about this before I could even read this, and I was not happy about that, but it's basically Superman renounces his US citizenship. Now, I just want to make one thing clear. Me personally never saw Superman as an American hero. Okay, I always saw him as a superhero for the entire world. Okay, from the day that I became a fan of his when I was like 6-7 years old, to the point of where, you know, to where we are now, I've always seen him as a superhero for the world, not for just one nation, but for the entire world. So for the American people, I can in some ways understand how you feel, but at the same time I really can't begin to imagine how you guys must be feeling. And it's basically, well, it's a touchy subject because it's all political, it's all to do with the government and everything, and it's kind of pointless, really. I mean, let's just get the facts first, right? Superman, or Kal-El rather, was born on a planet Krypton. Okay, said planet was destroyed. He got sent to Earth by Jor-El so that he could, you know, have a life of his own. He was brought up by Jonathan and Martha Kent with the morals and values of American life. Well, would say, yeah, of American life, because, you know, he was brought up on a farm. You know, they nurtured him, they raised him, they taught him the ways of the world, kind of thing. And as far as everybody is concerned, Superman is American. And I say everybody, I mean people in America. Now, like I said, I never saw him as an American hero. And at the same time, even I didn't know that he had a US citizenship as Superman. As Clark Kent, yes, but as Superman, not so much. Yes, it's great that the American people welcomed him to their country, to their nation. But as I say, I mean, he was raised as an American, but he is not of American origin. Okay? His heritage is Kryptonian. He is an alien with superpowers. So, as I say, I can understand why the American public will be pissed off, but I can also turn around and say, well, look, fair enough, he's been seen as an American symbol, but I never saw that. Okay, I saw a superhero who's willing to help people around the world, and that's pretty much what he says here. He says it here. He says that he intends to renounce his US citizenship because he's tired of having his actions construed as instruments of US policy. Truth, justice, and the American way, it's not enough anymore. So, to be perfectly honest, it says it, and he says it here. He says, "I'm an alien, born on another world. I can't help but see the bigger picture. I've been thinking too small. I realise that now." So, here he is saying that he can't be seen as, well, he's not patriotic, I think. He's not, yeah, he adores the American public, he loves America, but is he really patriotic? I think that's the other thing that this is trying to say, this is trying to tell us, is that Superman isn't patriotic. He's not standing for just one nation, he's standing for all nations. That was the reason why he went to Tehran, to just say something without doing anything. And in some ways it kind of worked, but the flip side of it, he's being deemed that it was an act of war. And it's not his fault. Why should that be his fault? Because that's how he feels. That's why he's renouncing his citizenship, because he feels that it's his fault that the Iranians now want to go to war with the Americans. For what reason? You know, so personally, as I say, I mean, I was talking to one of my friends on Twitter the other night, Jonathan Cypher, and he basically said that as far as he's concerned, Superman is an American hero, which is fine. He then went on to say that, you know, regardless of him having a US citizenship, he still saves people around the world. So the citizenship should have no reflection on that, which is true. I can agree with that, but at the same time, as I say, I'm not American. Okay, I've not been brought up to see Superman as an American hero. As far as I'm concerned, as I've said at the beginning, as far as I'm concerned, he's a hero for all nations, for everybody, not just for one collective group of people, but for everybody. So, I mean, I've had a few messages sent to me and a few tweets, and people are disgusted, people aren't happy, there's complaints being sent to DC. Apparently the Facebook page for DC was in an absolute uproar, so it's good and bad. It's good that the fans are crying out about this, but it's also bad to say that Superman is American, because he was never American in the first place. He was raised as an American, but he was not of American heritage, origin, anything like that. So yeah, that's just my bit on it. I don't know, you know, you guys let me know what you think. Are you happy about the renouncing, and you know, do you think it was a wise move from DC? Can they retract said renouncement? Who knows? But it's a big issue. It's a massive subject. It's a big talking point now, and yeah, it's going to affect a lot of people in huge ways, in particular, especially all the American fans. I know, as I say, I've got a lot of friends from America, and a lot of them are not happy about the decision. But again, I'm sure this must have been discussed at length before this was written. You know, David Goyer and everybody at DC would have said, well, what can we do? Okay, let's do this. Are you sure that's a good idea? Well, let's just see what the reaction is. And here is said reaction. Let's see what's going to happen from here. So, who knows what's going to happen next? As I say, they've done it. They can pretty much turn it around if they want. It's up to the writers, it's up to the creative department of DC and everybody to put their heads together and say, shit, we fucked up. We shouldn't have done that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But as I say, leave your comments below, and thanks for watching. See ya.